Nesiv means the path of anova, of humility. Sefer Mishlei, Ekev anova. Ekev always means the heel. Yiras Hashem. The Ekev anova, the basis, means the foundation for anova is Yiras Hashem. Let's say a person is meek and he has low self-esteem. He's humble, but it's not real humility because he doesn't value himself. What is real humility? I mean, you recognize who you are. Look, Moshe Rabbeinu was Adam Mikol Adam. Yet he broke the luchos. He didn't consult with Hashem, right? And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, "Kocho shishibarta, asher shibarta, I give you a great yashachot." He broke the luchos, right? This last week's parsha. So what is the root of Anova? The root, the foundation of Anova is Yiras Hashem. A person who fears Hashem properly. So what am I? Right? Right? What are we? Nothing. If we understand who Hashem is. Shlomo Omar ki balanova shu mashbel atzmo. A person who's humble and he lowers himself. It's not possible that he shouldn't possess Yiras Hashem, fear of God. Ki balanova maki shifluso. Why the person who's humble recognizes his inadequacies. Lefichach hu yorim mir Hashem yisborach. A person who's focuses on himself. Right? Person has an ego. You don't think about Hashem. The only reason why the person is able to fear Hashem is because each one plays on the other. Because a person who's humble, he recognizes his lowliness, therefore he's Yorim in Hashem Yisborach. You know, we had Nechovos Levovos in Sharat Nova. He had said a human being has to do his bodily functions, urinate a number of times a day. One has to do a movement once a day, maybe twice a day. Why? Kodesh Baruch, what does he have to distract us? Once a month is enough. Once a week is enough. Once a year is enough. Why? Every day, day in and then out. Day in, day out. Why? So he says to give the person understanding, your function, you have the function of an animal. Just as an animal defecates and urinates, you do the same thing. That humbles the person a little bit. Don't think you're somebody special. You have the same needs as an animal. You're distracted with those same base needs. That's the gift. Make it easy for the person to become humbled. We have the Chovos Levavos. Okay? Because he had no relevance to the animal. Vuhefech balagaivo. He says it's the antithesis of a person who's haughty. What's a balgaivo? Asher balgaivo memili bashamayim veidu mashbel atzmo lefnei Hashem Yisborach. Who's telling me what to do? You know, God's there, I'm here. I make the decisions. You know? So if God isn't mili bashamayim, what's God in heaven have to do with my life? So therefore there's no Yerushalayim. Therefore he's a balgaivo. Therefore he's consumed, he's totally subsumed with himself and consumed with himself. Ze'ekev anov yiras Hashem. So what is the ekev anova? Ratzlom ki nibshach achar anova hayiro. Moshe nibshach ochich be'achar aguf. See, Rabbeinu Bachi explains it the way I started to explain it. Rabbeinu Bachi says the ekev is the lowest part of the body, the heel. So the heel represents the foundation. Ekev anov yiras Hashem. This is the way the Rabbeinu Bachi, not the way the Maharal is explaining it. The foundation for anova is Yiras Hashem. If you have Yiras Shamayim, then you're humble. Meaning, if you recognize God, then you understand who you're not. It's like the Rambam says in Hilchos Yesodei Torah, there's a mitzvah of Avos Hashem. Avos is an emotion. I mean, how do you get self to love God? Let's say a person doesn't love God. So how do you love God? So the Rambam says that it's like a person says, you know, he loves his work. You love your work. Okay? Lahavdil. That was very. Okay? So a person, how do you get to have Avos Hashem? So he says that if a person, with one person believes in God, you look at creation, and you see the unlimited genius in creation. So when you see Hashem's genius, that causes you to be negated, and you're taken aback, and you're overwhelmed, and you begin feeling that you're nothing in God's presence. You're less than a speck in Hashem's presence. And when you realize who you're not and who Hashem is, you naturally, it evokes a love, an unquenchable love to Hashem. Because as a human being, when we naturally gravitate to somebody who recognizes being special, and we want to be associated with that. So that by recognizing who we're not, by recognizing God's unlimited genius and ability, that causes us to be negated. When we're negated, then we reckon that evokes the greatest level of Avos Hashem. That's the Rambam. So Yiras Hashem is this is the Rabbi Nebachia. What is Ekev Anova Yiras Hashem? What is the foundation for Anova? Yiras Hashem. When you recognize God, then you understand who you're not. It's going from seeing Him, and therefore you're negated. So the Ekev, the foundation, which is the heel is the lowest part of the body, that is Yiras Hashem. The Maharal is not learning this way. The Maharal is explaining it. The Ekev Anoris ki nimshach achar anova hayiro. He says a person recognizes his lowliness, then he has Yiras Hashem. It's going recognizing your lowliness, then you have Yiras Hashem. That's similar to the Chovos HaLevavos. The Chovos HaLevavos, right? You see, you have all the needs of an animal. Right? That's how deficient you are. Therefore, that humbles you. Once you're humbled, that brings to the Avos Hashem. Understand? The lowliness, as that's the lowest part of the body, the yira is drawn from anova, from humility. It's not the humility comes from anova. We're not talking about. No, just no. There you recognize God, and therefore you're minimized. Hereby, because of your sense of lowliness, therefore you recognize Hashem. It goes the other way. Rabbeinu Bachir is similar, and the Chovos HaLevavos is similar to the Rambam. No, we're talking about a person who believes in God. You believe in God. Yiras Hashem is fear of God. I'm not talking belief. Two separate things. You don't believe in God, so what is there to talk about? You know, where do you begin? Whatever. It could be the heart. Sure, everything. Anything has to do with the body, the function of the body. It could be air passage. No. It was legislated for that particularly. And once we say that, because it has to do with the oracles and the openings and that, so it includes everything. No, of course, that's a given. We're not talking about a person doesn't believe in God. You can be humble, and you love the dog. Why am I better than the dog? You know, that's the guy who doesn't believe in God.
So what I'm saying, if someone doesn't believe in God, he still can't. If someone believes in God, he still.
You may not be humble.
Right.
Exactly. So that's
right.
what. That's what we said. Without believing in God, there's nothing to talk about. Even a person believes in God, you could be haughty, you could be arrogant, you believe it, right?
So that means you really don't believe in God.
No. Well, the Gemara says a person is a balgaiva, he's the equivalent of, the world. God is only your havdil. I mean, you're a doormat. You know, God's here to serve me, to do my bidding. That's the arrogant person.
Right. Rabbi, you make a great decision in business or say medical. I made a triple diagnosis. That's 99% Hashem, 1% me, or it's 100% Hashem?
Hashem gave you the ability to make it.
But I had to do Shabbos and I studied.
Still, you could do shtadlis from today forever. You may have come upon that decision. You know, you have a key to open a lock, but if it's not the right key, it doesn't open the lock. So therefore, good, you took the initiative, but why did you come to the solution? Because God gave you the insight. You know, it's like I always give the example. Gemara says, "Mizonos shuvim Rosh Hashanah ad Rosh Hashanah." What do you mean? If I wouldn't go to the office, would I make money? So I said, you know, there was this father. He had a son who had low self-esteem. So he wanted to build his esteem. So what does he do? So he goes and he says, look, I set an appointment for you, and I want you to go and close a deal. And on the way to but he says, but you have to walk because I want you to think about the deal, but make sure to keep your eyes open on the way because you could trip it. So make sure to keep looking at the ground as you walk. And he paves the way, the mile, with $100 bills every step of the way till the man's office where he has this appointment. And all of a sudden the son starts feeling, today's my lucky day, you know. Every step to pick up another $100, by the time he arrived, he had $10,000 cash in his pocket minimally. He was phenomenal on that sale, you know, because the father understood what needed to give him that sense of that self-esteem. Kodesh Baruch Hu, the dollar bills, you just have to pick them up. But why are they there? If Hashem doesn't put them there, you could bend down, pick up, you know, you're picking up nothing. You're picking up leaves. You're not picking up $100 bills. That's the shtadlus. What you're meant to get is there. You have to take the initiative to take it. That's it. That's the way it works. How much initiative do you need? That's a separate discussion. How much initiative do you need? Okay.